Every year, hundreds of people are reported missing in national parks and forests, many of them.
What's going on, everyone? In today's video, we're going to be exploring some of the scariest Thanksgiving stories I could find. 54% of my viewers aren't subscribed, so if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and don't forget to introduce yourself in the comments. Tell me something cool about yourself. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Enjoy. My family has always had some long-standing traditions. One of them was going to my grandparents' farm the day before Thanksgiving and staying through Sunday. Being a farm, they had access to animals and produce and made getting ready for Thanksgiving really easy. Every Thanksgiving, my grandpa would get up really early, pick the best turkey, and prepare it for dinner. While he was handling the turkey, Grandma would start making dinner, and she would set out different craft projects for the kids to do throughout the day. It had been a tradition since I was a child, and now we were old enough so that my nieces and nephews could participate. It made Thanksgiving a lot more exciting. In July of last year, my grandfather died of a heart attack. This was going to be our first Thanksgiving without him. Grandma tried her best to hold everything together, and when the families arrived late on Wednesday, she informed us that she would wake up early and do Grandpa's usual routine. We all had our concerns since he passed away. Things had changed. Grandma was getting forgetful, and there were a few times that we caught her talking to herself. There had even been a few times that she would call us and tell us things that couldn't even possibly happen, like Grandpa still bringing her flowers. Through our protest, she insisted that she would handle the turkey, and if she needed help, she would let us know. I barely slept that night. My sister and her kids had the room across from me, and my parents next to me. Between snoring and worry, I spent most of the night tossing and turning. Grandma had gotten so bad in the last few months, I wondered if she'd still remember us the next day. The last time I checked my phone was 4:30 in the morning. I guess I hadn't relaxed enough to fall asleep, but next thing I know, it was 7:30 in the morning and I heard noises coming from the kitchen. I quickly got dressed, and by the time I made it into the kitchen, I found Grandma shutting the oven door and setting the timer. I asked her what she was doing, and she quickly reassured me that she had already taken care of the turkey and had just gotten it into the oven. She looked fine, sounded normal, so I decided to just let it go. I helped her set up the crafts for the kids, and we settled into making pie crust. We had a few hours to ourselves before everyone started waking up, and we were enjoying reminiscing about Grandpa. She told me stories that I had never heard before. One by one, the rest of my family came downstairs, and we settled into our different jobs. My niece was crafting away, while my parents looked for old dinnerware that we used to use, and my sister was peeling potatoes. Around 3 o'clock, we noticed that my nephew had yet to make an appearance. My niece quickly informed us that he had gone outside to play. Dinner was almost done, and we were growing antsy. My sister went out the back door to gather my nephew up and bring him in, but after a few minutes, we heard a bone-chilling scream. My parents and I ran outside to see what was going on, while Grandma sat with my niece. Outside, we found my sister kneeling in front of a pool of blood, holding my nephew's coat. My mom raced inside to call the police, while my dad comforted my sister. I started searching the farm and going from building to building looking for him. Within a few minutes, the police arrived and gathered us in the kitchen. They sat us down one by one and asked us when was the last time we saw our nephew. We took turns comforting my sister and keeping my niece entertained and distracted. The police took some of the most recent pictures we could find of him and reassured us that they had units canvassing the area for him. About an hour after the police arrived, the timer went off for the turkey. It was a reminder that my nephew wasn't with us, even as amazing as the turkey smelled. Grandma quickly made her way to the oven, with most of us ignoring her and trying to ignore the mouth-watering scent in the air. We didn't want to eat until my nephew made it home safe. It wasn't until she turned around that we all stopped and stared. The police say my nephew must have woken up early and heard Grandma in the kitchen, and then decided to go outside and play. Grandma's mental state had deteriorated so much more than we feared, and with his brown jacket, she must have mistaken him for a turkey. We found what was left of his head in the pig trough. It wasn't uncommon for my grandparents to throw bones and stuff into the pig den. Grandma never really understood what happened, even though she was found not guilty by reason of insanity. They put her in a high-security mental health facility. My sister hasn't been the same since, and I can't blame her. I know that was our last Thanksgiving as a family. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, if you enjoyed, please leave a like, and if you're not subscribed yet, please do so. And quick shout out to my friend Barefoot Bushcraft. He has some great videos of him doing some awesome woodworking projects. He's definitely worth for you to check out. If you want a shout out in the next video, don't forget to leave a comment. But okay, see you guys next time. What followed next was extremely bizarre. The hiker said the man stood up, emptied his pockets, one item at a time. He placed his items neatly next to his wife without saying a single word. Once he was finished taking out his belongings, he ran up to the barrier and jumped off the 700-foot stone wall.